This is a house I grew up in. We lived out in the country, surrounded by open land and scattered trees. Not a dense forest, but enough woods around the property that at night, it always felt like something was just beyond what you could see. During the day, it felt peaceful, but at night, it changed. Everything got quieter, not completely silent, just different. The kind of quiet where even small sounds stood out. And sometimes, if I was alone long enough, I would get this feeling I couldn't explain, like the woods weren't empty, like something out there was aware. I was younger then, and I scared easily. My mom and my sister were always into things like unsolved mysteries and scary movies. So that kind of atmosphere was always around me. Around that time, my older sister and her friend were going through a phase. They wore Jinko jeans. They listened to Marilyn Manson, and they stayed locked in her room for hours. I remember seeing a Ouija board out a few times. They thought it was fun. I didn't. That weekend, her friends stayed over. They spent most of the time in that room, with the door closed. I didn't go in there. Something about it made me uncomfortable. By Sunday, her friend went home. That night felt off. There wasn't anything obvious, no noise, no reason, just a feeling. I went to bed like normal. At some point during the night, I woke up. No sound woke me. I just opened my eyes. I remember lying there, staring at the ceiling, trying to figure out why I was awake. Everything was quiet. Too quiet. That same feeling was there again, stronger this time. Slowly, I turned my head toward my doorway. My door was fully open, and something was standing there. At first, my brain tried to explain it. I thought maybe it was just a shadow from the hallway, something stretching into my room. But this wasn't that. It didn't move. It didn't fade. It was solid, darker than everything around it. And the one thing that stood out immediately, it looked like it was wearing a hat, a tall one, like a top hat. I remember staring at it, trying to understand what I was looking at, because it didn't feel like a shadow. It felt like something was there, standing in my doorway, watching me. I couldn't see its face, no features, no details, but I knew exactly where it was looking, right at me. Not confused, not curious, aware, like it knew I was awake, like it had been waiting for me to notice it. And the longer I looked at it, the more real it felt. That's when something in me finally reacted. I pulled the blanket over my head as fast as I could. I stayed there, completely still, barely breathing, listening, waiting for something. Footsteps, movement, anything, but there was nothing. No sound at all, just silence. After what felt like a long time, I worked up the courage to look again. Slowly, I pulled the blanket down just enough to see the doorway. It was gone. The doorway was empty, but that didn't make it better. If anything, it made it worse. Because now, I didn't know where it was. I didn't get up. I didn't call out. I didn't move. I stayed under that blanket for the rest of the night, just waiting for morning. When it finally came, I remember feeling completely drained, like I hadn't slept at all. Because I hadn't. I never told anyone about it back then. Not my mom, not my sister, not even years later. And I still don't know what I saw that night. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe it was just my mind. Or maybe it wasn't. All I know is this. That didn't feel like something passing through. It felt like something that was already there. Something that had been watching long before I opened my eyes. And something I was never meant to see. If you made it this far, I appreciate you being here. If this story stayed with you, or felt a little too real, consider leaving a like. It really helps this channel grow. and keeps these stories coming. And if you haven't already, subscribe. There's a lot more coming. Stories that feel too close to home, because some of them are. If something's ever happened to you, something you still think about, something you can't fully explain, you can submit your story. Submit your stories at outlook.com. I read everyone. And who knows? Your story might be next. Stay aware. When woods watch, you were never just passing through.